Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this Body Love Yoga Flow. My name is Daria. If you're new here, welcome. So in today's practice, we'll be working with finding some love for our bodies. I think that always, but especially at this time of the year, we can be really hard on ourselves and our bodies. We can set expectations, and this can lead to cycles of guilt and shame and feeling maybe self-loathing or some hatred for our bodies. And so in this practice, you can think of this as kind of a little 30-minute sanctuary to work within the boundaries of your own skin and to cultivate compassion and love for yourself. So all that you'll need today is yourself and some place to move, and whenever you're ready, let's get started. We'll begin today seated at the back of the mat. So find your way to Sukhasana. Anchor your sitting bones down, let your knees fall open wide, and then bring your palms to face down on your thighs as you softly close your eyes. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and feel your spine begin to elongate. You can let the process of elongation happen naturally as your sitting bones root down even deeper and the crown of your head begins to get taller and prouder. Now take a moment here to really feel your body and try to feel every layer of muscle, every cell, every organ, every bit of skin. Notice all of the momentum and energy moving inside of you, and then begin to notice your breath. Allow your breath to deepen as your awareness deepens. Start to drop into your practice and to your space and to your body. Take a big inhale through your nose. Carry the air up the middle channel of your body, all the way to the tops of both lungs. And then take a big sigh out of your mouth to let that go. Let your exhale be audible, and don't be afraid of the sound of your own breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, big sigh out of your mouth. Clear anything that right away you recognize you don't need. And continue breathing deeply and begin to tap into the rhythm of your breath today. Often we'll begin our practice by focusing on a space that feels tight or tense or sticky, and we'll send the breath to that space. But what if instead today we focus our awareness and our breath on a space in the body that you love to feel? Can be anywhere, can be someplace really small, or maybe it's a larger area. And try to just let your awareness linger there with loving attention. And throughout this practice, challenge yourself to move from the inside out, focusing more on how the shapes feel internally rather than externally. It's easy to become caught up in an idea of what a posture should look like. And in doing so, we can sometimes miss out on the unique expressions that our own movement creates. It's like these ripples of your individuality that express in your movement. So let's play from that space today. Softly blink your eyes open, let the light back in, then roll over your shins, plant your palms, tuck your toes, and we'll find a forward fold at the back of the mat. Feet can be hips distance apart. Drop your head. Take 2 breaths here. Sway gently side to side. Shift the weight left and right on your feet. And then dig your big toes, your pinky toes, and your heels down and roll up to stand, 1 vertebra at a time. Let your torso be heavy as you rise. Let your core begin to connect. And then finally, lift your head as you reach the top. Take an inhale, sweep your fingertips out and then up overhead. Dig your feet down, lift up through the arches of your feet, and then pull this energy up all the way to your pelvic floor, which then lifts to your heart and beyond your fingertips. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bring your palms together through heart center and bow forward. And drop your head at the bottom. Inhale for halfway lift. Stretch your spine evenly forward and back. Shift the weight into your toes and then grow longer, longer, and longer. As you exhale, fold back into yourself. Inhale, chair pose. Shift the weight into your heels. Keep your toes bright and then lift your fingertips up overhead. Biceps by your ears. Shoulders soften down your back. Connect belly button to spine. Steady your gaze and begin to feel the activation in your legs, in your outer hips. Take one more inhale. Then as you exhale, bow chest to thighs, sweep your fingertips back, but stretch your heart to the top of your mat and let your gaze follow the line of your heart. Take an inhale, rise all the way up to Tadasana. You can ripple through the spine as you go, legs go straight. Take your gaze up towards your fingertips. And now as you exhale, cactus your elbows. Let your shoulder blades hug the back of your heart. Shift your pelvis slightly forward and find a baby back bend. Maybe just the heart lifts or the gaze. And then all 10 fingertips rise as you inhale. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Take an inhale, stretch into a halfway lift, like you're ironing out your spine. All your vertebrae are reaching away from each other. And then as you exhale, fold. Inhale, chair, sink low and back. Fingertips sweep up overhead. And then exhale and stay. Sink deeper into your chair as if you were going to actually sit down into a chair behind you. Allow your gaze to be steady and soft. Sink 1 inch lower, stretch your spine longer. And then exhale, glide fingertips back, reach your heart forward, chest to thighs. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, fingertips reach high. Exhale, cactus your elbows, puff your heart high. Keep lifting your pelvic floor all the way up to your heart, and then lean back. Inhale, rise fingertips up. Exhale, dive down, heart forward motion as you drop your head at the bottom. Inhale, halfway lift, stretch out. Exhale, fold. Walk your palms all the way forward until you find a downward dog shape. Dig all 10 of your finger pads down and then lift your hips up and back. You can bend one knee and then bend the other. Maybe keep a micro bend in both knees to stretch through your spine. Send your awareness to the back of your heart. And then from that space, create lines down your arms all the way into your hands and into the earth, pressing from back of heart to core of the earth. As you inhale, lift your heels, articulate through your feet as you rise to the balls of them. Then as you exhale, shift both of your heels toward the right side of your mat. You can bend both of your knees and gently place your heels down. Create a nice side body stretch. If it feels okay, you can lift the left heel. This might feel better. You always have the ability to explore and play and find what works best in your unique body. Lift your heels and then place them back down in the center of the mat. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels go to the left. Maybe both heels land or keep the right heel lifting. Dig left heel and left big toe down into the earth and then press your hands and your feet away from each other. Breathe into your right side body. Lift your heels, revolve them back to the center, and then slowly magnetize them back toward the mat. As you inhale, lift your heels. This time we'll hollow through the core and round forward to high plank. Steady your gaze. Press the earth actively away from you. Stretch your tailbone toward your heels. And hover here as if you're suspended in some kind of a sticky fluid, maybe like honey. And then gently sink both of your knees down to the mat at the same time and let them connect in the same way. As you inhale, pull your hands back towards your knees. Arc your spine so the belly softens. Lift your heart forward. Lift your tailbone back. Sitting bones wide. Gaze is up. As you exhale, shift slightly forward so the shoulders move in front of your wrists. Bend your elbows into your rib cage and then melt your heart and your chin into the mat. Stay and breathe for 2 rounds of breath right here. Allow your heart to burrow deeper and deeper and deeper. Untuck your toes, press the tops of your feet down, and then progressively ripple forward to baby cobra. This can feel really awkward the first few times that you do it, so try to really feel the movement from the inside out. It's very snake-like, kind of slinky movement. In baby cobra, press the tops of your feet down, hover your hands away from the mat, and stretch your heart forward. Inhale. As you exhale, plant your palms, tuck your toes, and press all the way back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale through your nose, and an exhale through your nose to root more deeply into fingers, toes, hands, and feet. Inhale, lift your heels, round forward, high plank. As you exhale, sink your knees down to the mat and feel the activation in your core as you do so. Pull hands back toward thighs as you find cow in the spine. Lift gaze, lift tailbone. Exhale, bend your elbows, melt your heart and your chin to the mat. This time, you can stay here, or if it's available, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine and then stretch your arms towards straight, keeping a micro bend in the elbows, lifting the wrists away from your tailbone. Shoulder blades draw together. Inhale here. Exhale, release your palms beside your ribs. Untuck your toes. Pull pubic bone to navel, navel to heart. As you ripple forward to cobra or baby cobra, this time maybe you can press into your palms and lift your heart just a bit higher. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes, glide back, downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Press the back of your heart down to the core of the earth. Inhale, come up to balls of feet. Round forward, hug belly to spine. Exhale, softly lower your knees to the mat. As you inhale, find cow. Lift your gaze. As you exhale, shift forward and lower chest and chin to the mat. Now this time, you can interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Stretch your arms away from your torso and maybe curl your heels in towards your sitting bones. Inhale here. And then release, hands beside ribs. Untuck your toes. Press into tops of feet. Ripple forward to cobra or baby cobra, whatever you need. Shoulder blades hug the back of your heart. Imagine that your heart's like a slingshot, so it's stretching forward from the activation in your back body. And then tuck your toes and glide back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale, lift your heels, round forward. Exhale, sink both of your knees to the mat. And this time, drag your fingertips back and come to standing on your knees. And press your pelvis forward. You can keep the toes tucked and imagine that there's a block between your inner thighs. So squeeze inner thighs together. This creates a ripple effect, an action of lifting all the way up to your heart, from pelvic floor to heart. And from here, we're gonna circle the fingertips around to the right, reach right fingertips for your right heel, and then lift your left arm up toward the sky. This might be a really subtle back bend, or maybe you go in a bit deeper. Inhale, and then revolve your arms forward, all the way around to the left. So left hand connects with left heel, right fingertips reach up, press your pelvis forward. Inhale. Exhale, revolve around. We'll start to move more liquid, more like liquid. Right hand down, left hand lifts. Exhale, revolve forward. Try to just flow one movement into the next, really graceful. Inhale. Exhale. One more each side. Inhale. And exhale, come forward. Inhale, let your gaze follow right fingertips as they lift high. Exhale, release back down. And walk your palms forward, untuck your toes, and take a couple rounds of cat-cow. As you inhale, soften low belly, and then melt your rib cage down toward the earth. Then stretch your heart to the top of your mat. Let your sitting bones spread wide. Exhale, press the earth away from you. Hollow your core, dome between your shoulders, and pick up your spine like it's being vacuumed toward the sky. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Few more at your own pace. Maybe go a little faster or maybe stay slow and steady, whatever you need. Try to connect with what your body actually wants to do rather than what you think you should be doing. Come back to a neutral tabletop and then just walk your fingertips forward. We're gonna find puppy pose. So either forehead comes down or chest and chin can melt to the mat. Find a position that feels cozy and comfortable for you. Soften your hip creases. Let the tops of your feet really land down to the mat. And then allow your breath to comb through your forehead, softening the creases there. We're constantly sort of picking and poking at our bodies in yoga and in life. And so try in this moment to just let everything be as it is. Let everything rest. And what happens if you just allow? Press down and walk your fingertips back in. Plant palms beneath shoulders, tuck your toes, and then glide back to downward facing dog. Let's take some circles through the pelvis here. So as you inhale, lift your heels and revolve your hips toward the right side of your mat. Bend your knees just a little to kind of skim the mat, circle your pelvis down, and then to the left. And then as you lift it up high, come up really high onto the balls of your feet. So for you, this might look a little different or feel a little different than it does for me. And we'll take one more circle in this direction. And then reverse, go the other way. So first the hips lift up and then over to the left, bending the knees to glide pelvis down. And then to the right, all the way back up and around. Let this feel kind of sensual and really, really good. Motivated by feeling good always. Find a downward facing dog when you're ready. As you inhale, stretch your right leg high, three-legged down dog. As you exhale, lift left heel, hollow your core, and step to the top of the mat, right foot between your thumbs. Softly land your left knee down. Keep your left palm rooting, and then as you inhale, circle your right fingertips forward and then all the way around toward the back of your mat. A little easy twist, but with the left knee still landed. You can let your gaze follow your fingertips. Start to lean slightly back and puff your heart toward the sky. Inhale here. As you exhale, revolve right fingertips back to the top of your mat and shift back to Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Flex your right toes and bow over your right thigh. And we'll flow back and forth between these two movements 3 times. As you inhale, shift the pelvis forward, ground your left palm, reach around and back with the right fingertips. And then exhale, circle right arm around and shift the hips back. Right leg pulls towards straight. Inhale, come forward, right arm goes back. Exhale, half splits. And last time, inhale, shift forward. Pelvis lands, right arm reaches back. Exhale, glide back, half splits. As you inhale, press your right foot down, so shifting the hips forward. Left toes are tucked. Root your big toe mound, and then lift your left knee and all 10 fingertips overhead. Try to pull energy up from the root systems of your feet through your legs to your pelvis. Then cinch at your waist to puff that energy into your heart and through your fingertips. Now cactus your elbows. Start to lean into your back body. Lift your gaze. Inhale. Exhale, root your palms back down to the mat. Step your right foot back, high plank. Shift forward, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the mat away. Exhale, glide back, downward facing dog. Sacrum leads as the hips go up and back. Inhale, stretch your left leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, lift right heel, hug knee to chest, and then step softly to the top of your mat. The right knee lands down behind you. Keep your right fingertips or palm rooted to the mat as the left fingertips sweep forward and then all the way up and around. It's like you're gonna reach for something behind you that's in line with your leg. Inhale here. Then circle the left arm back around, root your fingertips, shift the hips back, half splits. Flowing 3 more times between these shapes. Inhale, shift forward, left arm sweeps around to the back of your mat. And exhale, glide to Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And last time, exhale, squeeze your legs together, draw the left leg toward straight. And then shift forward, step into the left foot, stamp it down, anchor your big toes, and then lift right knee and lift fingertips high. As you exhale, allow your feet to land, settle, and dig deeper into the earth as you keep buoyancy and stretchiness and lift in your torso. And then cactus your elbows, puff your heart toward the sky. Lean a little into your back body. This can be any amount. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, plant your palms down. Step the left foot to the back of your mat. Shift forward, lower chaturanga, maybe to knees if that's better. Untuck your toes. Inhale, press to upward facing dog. See if you can hover your thighs, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then lift your heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hug belly button to spine as you shift up and back. Take a big inhale through your nose. And a cleansing sigh out of your mouth. Let that go. And dig your left toes down, and on your next inhale, sweep your right leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Softly land right foot between your palms, then lower your left knee down. As you inhale, anchor your left fingertips and sweep the right arm all the way around and back. And this time, maybe kick your heel in towards your glute. See if you can grab for the top of your foot. If this is not happening for you today, no problem at all. You can just stay with the twisting action. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here. If you've hooked for the foot, try to create a C between your thumb and your second finger. And then pull your feet toward each other to draw your heel closer to your sitting bone. Shoulder blades hug the back of your heart and lift your heart and your gaze skyward. One more inhale here. Exhale, soften the front of your left thigh if you've grabbed for the foot. And everyone, wherever you are, can you melt your pelvis just a bit more down and forward? Good. Release the grip. Circle right arm all the way back around to the top of the mat. And we'll shift back to half splits. Flex your right toes. And we'll take ripples through the spine here. So root fingertips or palms down to the mat. As you inhale, it's like a cow shape in the spine. So stretch back through your tailbone, widen your sitting bones. And then curl your heart to the top of the mat by pulling your fingertips towards your left knee. And as you exhale, cast your heart forward and down like it's gonna melt towards your right toes. You can widen your elbows. 2 more times. Inhale, pull low belly in and up to start the activation. So first rounding the spine, then stick your butt out, puff your heart forward. And exhale, fold. And last time, inhale, belly pulls in and up. Stretch back, sitting bones wide, heart goes forward, fingertips tractioning toward your pelvis, and then exhale and bow. Step forward into your right foot, keep the left toes tucked, and as you inhale, lift your fingertips up, high crescent lunge. Now you can stay cactusing the elbows for a little back bend here, or maybe drop your right arm down so that your hand can connect with the back of left thigh. Then sweep up from pelvic floor to heart and find Exalted Warrior. Lift your left fingertips up and let your gaze follow them. Sink more deeply into your front thigh, and then let your heart be magnetized all the way to the clouds. Inhale. Exhale. Circle both arms down to the top of the mat. Plant them and step your right foot back to high plank. Shift forward, lower chaturanga, any version you need. Untuck your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now sink both of your knees down to the mat. See if they can connect at the same time. Then drag your fingertips back towards your thighs, and we'll come to standing on the knees again. We'll play with our first round of Ustrasana, camel pose. So for this first round, keep your toes tucked. Imagine again that there's a block between your inner thighs that you're really squeezing tight. Notice that ripple effect. So you can play a couple of times, engaging the inner thighs and then releasing. Notice how it lifts the pelvic floor. Now imagine that your tailbone is lengthening down to the backs of your knees. And bring your hands to your sacrum. The fingertips can either face down or up. Now as you inhale, lift the air up from your pelvic floor to your heart, creating length first. As you exhale, start to lift your gaze and maybe lean a little bit back. Press your hands to your sacrum and your sacrum back to your hands. And the heart's like a fountain. Keep pulling your low belly in and up. Keep lengthening your tailbone down. Take one more inhale. And then rise all the way back up and let your head be the very last thing to lift. So it's a progression, sequentially rising. Then sink back to your heels. The palms can face either up or down on your thighs. Just close your eyes and be. And let any little ripples that are moving through your system happen, whether that be in the thoughts or in the sensational world. And once again, try to drop any picking at yourself and just notice, just observe. Blink your eyes open. Plant the palms forward, tuck your toes, and find downward facing dog. Inhale and sweep your left leg high. As you exhale, lift the right heel, hollow your core, step to the top of your mat. Drop your back knee. Anchor your right fingertips a little bit wider, and then sweep your left fingertips forward and around, maybe staying with the twist, or kick the right heel in and see if you can grab for the top of the foot. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pull right heel and right sitting bone closer. And then take a few breaths here to find some comfort, even in a shape that might not be the most comfortable. Soften your gaze, or maybe close your eyes to remove some of the external stimulus and really, really feel inside out. And breathe evenly into sticky spots and spaces that feel more open. And then release. If you grab for the foot, you can drop it back behind you with the toes tucked. The left arm comes forward. And then we'll shift back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Flex your left toes actively. Dig your heel down and then pull it back towards your pelvis so the outer left hip is shifting back. As you inhale, find a ripple through the spine. Pull your low belly in and up, round, and then arch. Stretch back and forward evenly. Elongate your spine more than you think you can. And then exhale to bow. Inhale, ripple. Stretch out. Get stretchier than you even want to. Like stay longer than it might be comfortable here. Pull your fingertips back more than you want to. And then exhale, glide down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Step forward. Stamp your left foot down. Lift your right knee and lift your fingertips. Inhale. Maybe find the back bend with the arms in cactus, or sprinkle the left fingertips down to the back of right thigh. Then create like a buoyancy in your pelvis by pulling your feet toward each other. And then as you exhale, commit to the bend in your left knee. And lift your gaze over right fingertips. One more inhale. As you exhale, root your palms down to frame the left foot. Step back, high plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop both of your knees down to the mat, and then fingertips pull back as you come to stand on your knees. So this time, either stay with the toes tucked, or you can untuck the toes. So if you're relatively new to a back bending practice, I would recommend staying with the toes tucked to help you build the back body strength. Then we can increase the depth. Wherever you are, bring your hands to your sacrum, maybe fingertips facing up or down. As you inhale, squeeze your inner thighs, lift pelvic floor to heart, create length first, and then begin to lean back. You can lift your gaze, lift your heart. If you start to feel crunching in the low back, you've gone too far. So come out just a bit, see if you can create more length, and then maybe go deeper into the back bend. This time, if you'd like to, you can reach for the heels, fingertips to heels, and then press your pelvis forward. Shine your heart high. We're here for 2 more breaths. If your hands are on your heels, bring them back to your sacrum. Press into it and slowly, sequentially rise back up. Head is the last thing to lift. And then shift back to your heels. Palms can face up. Close your eyes and drop everything. Observe without judgment. And imagine that your heart space is melting and infusing love and compassion throughout your body with your breath. Blink your eyes open. Come to a seat, so roll to a sitting bone, and then swing your legs forward to the top of your mat. We'll take Pashimo Tanasana, seated forward fold. Dig your heels down, pull them back towards your sitting bones, anchor your fingertips and lift your heart. And then as you exhale, fold over yourself, maybe connecting the belly and the thighs, and then really squeezing yourself tightly. Soften the back of your neck, relax your face, relax your jaw. Begin to rise back up, crawl your fingertips in. And then we'll shift the hips forward, feet come down, and roll to lie on your back. You can go down slowly or more quickly if that's better for you today or tonight. Whatever you need. And then pull your knees in towards your chest. We'll take happy baby for one final shape. Reach for the outer or inner edges of your feet. Drop your sacrum to the mat and then widen your knees to the outer edges of your rib cage. Feel free to play. Take one leg to straight and then the other. If you need it, you can take any final postures. I'm going to play in plow pose for just a couple of breaths. So if you'd like to play with that too, you can root your palms down by your sides, lift your toes up, and then roll all the way back. So maybe the toes can come down to the floor behind you. If you like, you can bring the hands to the low back for support. Or if the toes are down and connected, Then you can drop the arms back down. Take fluid breaths along the back line of your body and play with any expressions within the posture that feel right to you. And come out the same way that you came in, maybe hands to the low back, and then roll down one vertebra at a time. And hug your knees in tight to your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Try to give yourself a really genuine, loving hug here. Close your eyes and take in your full body, every bit, even the areas that might feel challenging or limited. And breathe into everywhere equally with love. And then on your exhale, find Shavasana and let it be the coziest release. So take a moment to set yourself up, getting out any wiggles or adjustments that you need to feel comfortable, and then let everything settle. Part of the process of creating deeper love for our bodies is dropping the idea that anything needs to be different than it is based on external expectations. So the more that we can bring awareness to any of the stories we've imposed about ourselves based on these outside factors, the more we're able to just let them go, untangle those knots, and come back to a whole acceptance of who we are and the skin that we're in. As you stay and rest in Shavasana, know that the whole of who you are is so much greater than just your physical body, and so much greater than your thoughts and your sensations and your emotions. Now drop everything right here into the earth and fall into deep rest. Feel free to stay and rest as long as you can, as long as you need. And part of showing our bodies love is allowing for rest and taking rest when we need it. If you're ready, start to connect back to your awareness, back to your sensations, and feel your body as one whole. And begin to wiggle fingertips and toes, coming back to life. And then as your breath continues to deepen, animate into a full body stretch. Arms go back, toes go forward. Take an inhale here. And then on your exhale, find a side, pick a side, roll to it, and rest in fetal pose, palms down, head down. As you're ready, rise up to a seat. You can keep your eyes closed or soften your gaze. And then once again, allow length to radiate up your spine to the crown of your head. Draw your palms to meet over your heart. So press your hands to your chest. And take a moment here to find something nice to say to yourself about your body. It can be really simple, really sweet, whatever comes to mind. And now a moment to spread that sensation of love everywhere. And then carry the love through your hands up to your third eye, palms in prayer, and bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. I hope you're feeling good. And remember that loving your body is a practice, just like yoga and just like anything else. So the more accustomed you become to saying nice things to yourself when we're so conditioned not to do that, the easier and more intuitive it will start to feel. I hope you're doing really great. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can do that down below because that really supports me. But have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next class. Bye.